Coronation Street lines up some sad scenes between Betsy Swain and Dylan Wilson next week, as the couple prepare to embark on their long-distance relationship. With Betsy planning to leave for London soon, she tries to make the most of her time in Weatherfield. But will her loved ones be able to let her go? Earlier this month, Betsy revealed she had landed a place at the London College of Fashion, and would be moving there in a few weeks. Though she was excited by the opportunity, she also shared her concern about leaving Dylan behind. After a candid conversation with her boyfriend, the teens agreed to try a long-distance relationship. But upcoming episodes prove just how difficult the situation will be. In scenes that will air on Friday, July 10th, Betsy arrives at Speed Doll, asking Dylan if she can hang around and watch him work. She explains that she wants to spend as much time with him as possible before her big move. During the shift, the youngsters realize just how much they'll actually miss each other and these small moments together. Will Betsy go through with her plans, or decide to prioritize her feelings? Betsy and Dylan are planning to see how a long-distance relationship goes, but it's still sad to know that they won't see each other as much when Betsy moves to London to study fashion, explains our source. When Betsy insists on watching Dylan work, which isn't the most exciting situation, it's obvious how much he means to her. Is this a sign that she'll have second thoughts about going? Or will she stick to her guns and put her future career prospects first? The Cobbles are preparing for another emotional chapter as Coronation Street teases a series of heartbreaking scenes involving Betsy Swain and Dylan Wilson ahead of a planned departure that could leave fans reaching for the tissues. After months of emotional turmoil, unexpected friendships, and difficult choices, the pair now find themselves standing at a crossroads. While their journeys have been very different, both characters have been carrying burdens that seem impossible to ignore. As goodbye edges closer, Weatherfield is set to witness some of its most emotional scenes of the year. A friendship tested like never before. Betsy and Dylan have shared an unusual bond, forged through hardship rather than happiness. Both teenagers have struggled with finding their place in the community, often feeling misunderstood by those around them. Recent events have forced them to grow up quickly, and while they have tried to support one another, the pressure has become overwhelming. Sources close to the storyline suggest that the coming episodes will explore what happens when two vulnerable people realize they cannot solve each other's problems forever. Instead of dramatic explosions or shocking betrayals, viewers can expect quieter, deeply emotional moments that highlight the reality of saying goodbye. Betsy's emotional struggle. Betsy has spent months trying to appear stronger than she really feels. Behind her confident exterior lies someone desperate for stability, acceptance, and a future free from constant uncertainty. Upcoming scenes reportedly see Betsy wrestling with the possibility that leaving Weatherfield may be the only way to start over. It's not a decision she makes lightly. Every familiar street, every face, and every memory reminds her of the life she's built, even if that life has often been difficult. The emotional weight of walking away becomes almost unbearable as she begins saying goodbye to those closest to her. Viewers are expected to see a far more vulnerable side of Betsy than ever before. Dylan faces another heartbreaking challenge. Dylan's recent experiences have changed him dramatically. Having endured emotional setbacks and difficult relationships, he has spent much of the year searching for hope. Unfortunately, hope doesn't always arrive when it's needed most. As Betsy's future becomes increasingly uncertain, Dylan finds himself questioning his own path. Can he convince her to stay? Or is he simply delaying the inevitable? Friends notice that Dylan becomes unusually withdrawn, struggling to express emotions that have been building for months. His silence speaks louder than words, creating some of the most powerful scenes in the storyline. Goodbyes are never easy. Weatherfield has witnessed countless farewells over the years, but this one feels especially personal. The writers appear to be focusing on the emotional impact rather than sensational twists. Characters begin reflecting on shared memories, forgotten promises, and the people who helped shape their lives. Small conversations become significant. Simple gestures carry enormous emotional weight. A hug lasts slightly longer. A smile hides tears. Those understated moments often leave the biggest impression on viewers. Family emotions take center stage. The departure doesn't affect only Betsy and Dylan. Friends and family members must also come to terms with the possibility that life will never quite be the same. Some encourage fresh starts. Others desperately hope minds can still be changed. Different opinions create emotional tension rather than outright conflict, making every conversation feel authentic. Parents struggle with the difficult balance between protecting loved ones and allowing them the freedom to make their own choices. Meanwhile, friends wonder whether they're witnessing a temporary goodbye, or a permanent farewell. An exit built on emotion. Unlike explosive exits featuring dramatic confrontations or shocking revelations, this storyline appears to embrace quieter storytelling. Sometimes the saddest departures aren't accompanied by huge twists. Sometimes they're simply about accepting that people grow, circumstances change, and moving on becomes unavoidable. That emotional realism has always been one of Coronation Street's greatest strengths. Viewers often connect most with stories grounded in everyday emotions. Fans already fear the worst. As spoilers continue to emerge, viewers have begun sharing emotional reactions online. Many believe the writers are preparing one of the year's most touching exits. Others remain hopeful that plans could change at the last moment. Soap fans know that nothing is ever completely certain in Weatherfield. Characters have changed their minds before. Unexpected events have rewritten futures overnight. Still, the latest developments suggest this farewell has been carefully building for some time. Could there be one final surprise? No soap goodbye would feel complete without at least one unexpected twist. Whether it's an emotional confession, an unfinished conversation, or a last-minute decision, viewers suspect the writers still have surprises waiting. Perhaps Dylan finally says everything he's been keeping inside. Maybe Betsy discovers one final reason to stay. Or perhaps the hardest choice is accepting that some journeys simply lead in different directions. Whatever happens, the final episodes promise plenty of emotion. A new beginning beyond Weatherfield. Leaving Coronation Street doesn't necessarily mean the end of a character's story. Soap history has shown that departures often become opportunities for growth, fresh adventures, and unexpected future returns. For Betsy, leaving could represent hope after months of uncertainty. For Dylan, saying goodbye may become the moment he finally discovers who he wants to be. Sometimes the bravest decision isn't staying where everything feels familiar. Sometimes it's finding the courage to embrace the unknown. Fans prepare for an emotional farewell. As the planned exit draws nearer, anticipation continues to build among loyal viewers. The storyline promises heartfelt performances, emotional conversations, and the kind of realistic character moments that have kept Coronation Street at the heart of British television for decades. Whether fans are hoping for a last-minute change of heart or preparing to say a tearful goodbye, one thing seems certain: Betsy and Dylan's final chapter together is shaping up to be one of the soap's most emotional stories in recent memory. When the time comes for the pair to walk away from Weatherfield, they may leave behind familiar streets and cherished memories, but their journey is likely to leave a lasting impression on everyone who watches. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.